here is why the New York Jets should be optimistic. They were 5-2 with Zach Wilson last year before Breece Hall got injured. Breece Hall clearly looked good in the game. They still have Dalvin Cook. So really, you can argue they have the best backfield in the league right now. One of the best backfields. It's elite, no doubt about it. The defense is smash mouth as hell. They just did what they did to the Buffalo Bills. We saw them last year. We saw the claims they were making about maybe the 85, 86 Bears or, was it the 0-2 Bucks? Was it the Ravens? I can't remember. But we heard them comparing themselves to those historic defenses. I'm not saying they're going to be historic, but if the Jets came out with they were number one in defensive yards and defensive points per game at the end of the year, I'm not surprised. So you have an elite defense. You have an elite backfield. You have a speedster that you brought in, Mecole Hardman, which I feel differently about Mecole. But if you use him the right way, he could be like a Jalen Waddle light, maybe like a Hollywood Brown, just strictly off speed, get him out in some Y crosses, some crossers, some go routes, just some openings in the field. Garrett Wilson, clearly. If Zach Wilson can really maybe just be Daniel Jones, if he's capable of that, again, 5-2 last year with Zach Wilson before Breece Hall got hurt, that offensive line is going to be questionable, but in other aspects, they have a reason to be optimistic. Now, the quarterback position is what's always, again, we were really going to see here how valuable that quarterback position was. That is a thing now to where the Jets are kind of scratching their head. And that's why I have them winning no more than 8, maybe 9 games this year, because we've seen Zach Wilson throw 50-50 balls. We've seen him have very bad decision-making and very poor judgment on the field. I never agreed with him being a number 2 overall pick, but all I can hope is that he can perform to the likes of a game manager, maybe a little bit of a San Francisco 49ers vibe here. You do have the defensive-minded head coach. The O-line isn't as stout, but you could run the football like hell possibly. Your defense is elite. Your receivers are pretty on point. Just have Zach Wilson drop back 17 to 18 times a game. Get you at least 65% completion. Try not to make any mistakes. Hold on to the football. Don't throw an interception. I think the Jets this year have the reason to be optimistic because they will be playing in the light of Aaron Rodgers' injury. And we've seen emotion. We've seen grit. We've seen fire with football teams. The New Orleans Saints after Katrina. We've seen it time and time and time again. We just saw it in the Monday Night Football game. Their emotion and their grit to grind it out under Robert Saleh. The Jets are going to be a sneaky, not competitive, but a team that pisses you off when your team plays them because there's a chance you might not want to see them at any point in the year because of how motivated they are. Like, they're fired up. Their quarterback, done for the year. At one point, they were wearing shirts about Mike White over Zach Wilson, who was Zach's backup. Now they have to rally around him, and I think they will. But I don't trust Zach Wilson to obviously take it as far as Aaron Rodgers was going to.